Welcome back to the Postpartum Standard. I'm Toni Toomey, a mom and the founder of Hone, and I created this podcast to talk honestly about postpartum, the parts we're told to push through instead of understand. Today's conversation is a little different. I'm joined by a first-time mom who is 3 months postpartum, navigating recovery, identity shifts, marriage, ambition, all the things that come with postpartum. This episode is about getting real, naming what's happening, and moving from survival to something that's more sustainable and like really thriving. So, Desireé, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm so excited to have this conversation.
Yes, me too. I'm so excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Of course. So, let's dive in. Tell us a little bit about you and where you're at in your motherhood journey.
So again, as you said, first time mom. He is 3 months old, which is so crazy. It goes by so fast. Honestly, everything worked out as planned. I got married in 2024. We planned to have a baby in 2025, and here we are. He's not going to be my only one, hopefully, but it was, like I said, pretty easy for me to make happen. And it's the weirdest thing just to launch into something super quick that I've been thinking about lately. You spend your whole life, before you're ready, right? Before you're in this space saying, like, I can't get pregnant and I'm trying not to get pregnant and all the things. And then as soon as I got married, everyone in my life was like, when are we getting pregnant? Like, they were so ready. Even my mom, which I was so surprised by, but everyone was so ready for me to get pregnant. And I'm just like, oh, so now, like, it's just this weird identity shift in of itself. So it happened even before I had the baby. So just to say that out loud, it's the weirdest thing.
I totally get you. You go from spending your whole life trying not to get pregnant to, okay, now I want to get pregnant.
Just do
It's very
it.
similar with like breastfeeding. You spend your whole life like trying to keep the girls covered up to now every single thing I choose. I'm like, how can I get a boob out of this?
Absolutely.
And
What's
like,
the
is
best
it
way to get a
going to
boob
work?
out of this? If not, I'm probably just not going to buy it.
So, in your first 3 months of postpartum, what is like the one thing that surprised you the most that you feel like nobody prepared you for?
Ooh, that's a really good one. Okay, so majority of my life, again, no kids. This is my first baby, and actually, in my family, we didn't have a lot of kids around either. Just kind of the way it worked out. Everyone in the generation before me had kids very young, so we were all told like, let's not do that. Go to school, live your dreams, do whatever you want to do, and then have kids. So we didn't have like babies just running around everywhere. For a while there, especially in my early 20s or so, I wondered if I even had a maternal bone in my body. And now I'm surprised by the fact that, yes, it was absolutely there. And I just know what to do majority of the time. I don't even think about it. It's just, oh, this is what he needs. And it works. And so one thing I can point this to a direct thing that I did. We started doing a full on bedtime with him, full routine. It completely worked from the first time that I did it. I don't know where it came from. I just had a thought and I was like, let me get his little sound machine ready. And they put his little sleep droplets in the humidifier so the room smells a certain way. And let me, make the room dark. And I just sat with him and he went to sleep. And that's how we go to sleep every night now. It was just like, let's just try it. And then I did it and it worked. So that's just one example of that. The fact that, I just knew what to do all of a sudden. And I've never felt that way about anyone else's baby or any other baby I've been around.
Yeah, that maternal instinct is so wild. Like, I didn't think that I wanted kids for the longest time. I had told my parents, like, I'm not having babies. When my husband and I met, we bonded over the fact that neither of us wanted kids. And then bless his heart, he got on board. I, I was actually at my niece's first birth. So my niece is very close to my age because my brothers are much older. And so she's always been like my sister. We're like 4 years apart. She had a baby in a birthing center, and I got to go down and be present for it. And it was so beautiful, also terrifying. Like I went home after like not sleeping for 24 hours and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I know how tired I am and like I'm not even the one who just came home with a baby or pushed one out." So, in that moment, I was like, "Okay, no, I definitely don't want kids." And then I said to my husband, I called him and I was like, "Yeah, it was crazy. Definitely don't want kids." And he was like, "Well," and that like little pause from him, I was like, "Oh man, we're having kids."
Yep. Yep.
Always kind of like the mom of the group anyways, which that it was just natural for me. And I didn't expect that maternal instinct like you're talking about, where you just like know what to do and what your baby needs. And like, I've been very fortunate. My daughter just turned 2. We're still breastfeeding. And like, I did a lot to prepare for that. Like, I did courses before she was born. And I'm like a constant learner. I'm very type A and I love structure and learning. So I bought multiple courses and I put a lot of work into it, but it's paid off. And now I just feel like I know how to mom, and it's very strange.
Just happens. It's yeah, like if you asked me before I had my baby, like how do you know how to, or like how do you know when they're crying versus when they're tired versus when, they just want to be held versus XXX, right? Like because they cry for however many reasons. I would have told you I have no idea, and I'm not doing that. Like I knew that I wanted to have kids eventually. I was like kind of on the fence. I wasn't saying no, but I was saying with the right person. And then I met my now husband and he always wanted kids. He grew up with 4 kids in the house. Like he's the oldest. He's like, no, I want many babies. So we had a lot of very honest and open conversations about what that looks like for us and what that means for us as a couple. And he made me comfortable with doing it. I was not just going to have kids and feel like my mom always said, don't have kids and feel like a single mom because she was a
Yes.
single mom and she's like, it's not fun.
Yeah. That's hard.
Yeah.
What is one thing that like you've noticed has changed in yourself that maybe is not visible from the outside, but like you really feel in your core?
I was one of the most selfish people you would ever meet. I will be completely honest with you. And a lot of that just came from I want to do what I want to do when I want to do it. And I always had the time and I always had the space. And I still have time to get things done. Like my mom comes and helps. So I'm very big on appointment setting. So like I have nail appointments and hair appointments and wax appointments. I have kept all of those through my pregnancy and even after he came here. So it looks normal from the outside, right? But in reality, I'm scheduling all of that around his schedule as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's my biggest thing is definitely the scheduling and just I'm keeping up with me at the same time, but in a different way now. And I'm putting him first and putting his needs first, which is something I've never done with anyone, honestly. Even my husband would be like, you would rather do this or like, you would rather go do that than, what I had planned or whatever. And I'm like, well, you put it on the wrong day. Like, love you, but I'm going to go do my thing now. So, yeah, the little
Yeah.
guy
I
definitely moved things around for me.
I totally feel that. I was very similar. I traveled all over. I would move all the time. I lived overseas. Like I was just a free spirit and I did what I want and I was just always independent like growing up and my brothers were way older so I kind of grew up like an only child and I did just do whatever I wanted. So
There you go.
I kind of carried that over and now yeah, you're right. Like literally everything revolves around my daughter and her
Mhm.
schedule and what she needs, but I don't have any resentment about it. It's like it's a joy to get to figure it out and like
Yes.
bring her into my daily life.
Yes, I feel that same way. I was nervous about that for a bit before, and now that he's here, now that it's happening, I'm like, okay, I feel good about the fact that he's good, and that's what drives me. Like that's what makes me happy now, instead of just going and doing the thing. I'm like, okay, Kai's good. Kai is set. Kai has this person, whoever he's going to be with during this time. So obviously, he can't come with me to these appointments. He's so little.
Yeah.
So he's good. I'm good. So yeah.
So you talked about like keeping your appointments, taking care of yourself. How did becoming a mom change how you relate to your body?
Oh my gosh. All those little things that we pick ourselves apart for in our 20s, everyone please stop. Like I know there's probably no one in their early 20s. Well, you know what? There could be someone out there in their early 20s who's like, "Let me get ahead of this and listen." Could be. So if you're listening, stop picking apart your body every 2 seconds because I promise you you're going to look back and say, that body was perfectly fine." Not that this body is different or not that this body is bad. It's just different. And I am, as someone who, by the way, worked out their entire pregnancy,
That's
I,
awesome.
yes. And so I was able to keep moving, um, which is great. But I also feel like I don't know what I expect it to look like after. We'll put it that way. Right. So
Yeah.
you look at yourself finally and you go, wow, what just happened? But also you're like, this little person is so great and I love him so much. I do. But I also feel like if I already didn't have a game plan for myself to do something with my body after the fact, I would feel a lot different about it. I would feel worse even though I worked out because you're still stretching and everything has moved around and everything is different now and you kind of have to readjust. Like I'm still getting adjusted to my postpartum body. Like actually today I looked at my stomach and I was like, "Oh, it like randomly kind of is going away a little bit, like a little flatter." Like that's random. And it's happening. Well, one, I'm losing weight again because I'm breastfeeding, and two, I'm back to working out full time again, of course. But I also, it's not something that I pay so much attention to like I thought I would. Before I got pregnant, I was like, oh, we're ruining everything. Like, I look so good right now. Honestly, I had just gotten a breast reduction in 2023. And I knew well, we didn't know if I was going to be able to breastfeed, by the way, because when you get a breast reduction, they do cut and potentially
Oh,
sever some things
wow.
in there. Um, some of the pathways that your body uses to produce milk sometimes can get severed. But thank everything, I actually am able to breastfeed. So, um,
Yay.
yeah, so it's like getting that done and just being like, you kind of like somebody said, like, oh, you like ruined your breast reduction. I'm like, I don't feel like I've ruined anything. I just feel like they're different now. Like,
Yeah.
they're nowhere near as big as they used to be, but they're just different. Everything is different. And so instead of being so negative, like how you used to, right? Like, oh, I feel fat in this, or this is sticking out there. It's like I'm making my clothes in my closet readjust to what my body is instead of me trying to force my body into something that just doesn't work. So, and again,
Yeah.
I moved a lot during my pregnancy, so I can only imagine if I gained like more weight, but I was able to keep it down in comparison. I remember my mom told me, I think with me, she gained like 75 pounds, and I was like, oh my goodness. And that some people just do, they just take on weight. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think it's important to remember that your body is capable of amazing things. And this was the most amazing thing that any of us will ever do. And it's a blessing. But you also do have to think of yourself in that, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I would have felt a ton worse if I didn't move my body, like a ton.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think that's so important, like, staying active, it makes everything feel better. Even if you gain the weight, like, it doesn't matter because you're moving and your body just feels good and you're strong, and I love what you said about, like, making the clothes in your closet, like, work for you and not, like, trying to force yourself into them. I think that's so important and was, like, a kind of a big turning point for me, I think, in postpartum was like, "Okay, I'm gonna invest in pieces that, like, fit me now because I don't think I'm ever gonna fit into the jeans that I wore before I was pregnant. Like, these hips are never going back down." It's I am, like,
Nope.
structurally different.
Yep.
And that's okay, and, like, I wanna set an example for my daughter that, like, that's okay, and we should love our bodies. I think growing up as, like, I'm an elder millennial, and so I kind of grew up in that, like, toxic skinny culture,
Same.
like, time of, like, magazines calling, like, Jessica Simpson fat because she wasn't a size 0, like,
Gosh, yes, I totally remember that, and it was like now I look back well, at the time, I'm like, "Oh my god, yeah, she is kinda big," and now I look back and I'm like, "That's not
yeah.
normal."
Like, I think back to in college, I was in a sorority and we would always watch Next Top Model with Tyra Banks, and I just
Right.
remember her saying, like, these horrible things to women who I'm like, "I would kill to be that size right now." Like
Yep. We were all
like, she was
chasing it with the very because it was also the fashion too, like those very low-rise jeans. You can't
oh
have
my gosh.
anything happening when you're wearing low-rise
You
jeans.
have to be a stick, and,
That's it.
like, goodbye low-rise jeans, they are never coming back for
I'm
me, like,
I'm
give
never
me the
wearing those.
mom jeans.
Somebody literally said, like, "Skinny jeans are coming back," and I was like, "Not for me. Never again. Never again." Yeah, absolutely. And mom jeans or whatever you wanna do, like, my best friend, I just realized this, she's actually the most in shape person I know. She, has always been tiny, but she actually started doing, bodybuilding competitions a couple of years ago. I just realized that she does not wear jeans. She said it to me the other day, she's like, "Des, I have no jeans in my closet." And I was like, "Oh my god." We've been best friends since high school.
Oh my gosh.
Stretch pants, leggings, I've seen her in a lot of dresses, skirts, but never jeans. And I was like, oh my gosh. She's like, yeah, jeans are like the devil. I hate them. And she's
Yeah.
so
I mean, jeans don't really do anybody any favors.
you
I pretty much wear sweatpants or dresses all the time. I work from home, so I can wear sweatpants whenever I want.
absolutely. For me, it's leggings. I live in leggings now, so it is what it is. And it's cold outside too, so it's fine.
Exactly. Yeah. Wintertime, winter is my favorite too, because you get to like layer up and wear sweaters. I don't have to worry about my arms. Like, I'm
Exactly,
good.
exactly that. So yeah,
Well,
adjustment.
shifting gears a little bit, we had talked earlier about like switching the mindset from surviving to like thriving, and like what are some shifts for you aside from like keeping your self care and stuff like that? How do you set yourself up to thrive in postpartum?
Yeah, I'm like you, routine. I need to have some kind of routine. At first, well, at first when you have the baby and you're a new mom, you're like, I don't even know what to do. I'm just following what they need, right? So they cry, they need diaper change, they need this, they need that. And now him and I are starting to get into our little routines. And I feel like at first you do have to go with the flow because you can't like force them to get into a routine with you. That's not going to happen. But the more that you start those little routines, like I said, that little bedtime routine that I started, or our wake up routine is always the same too. The more that I do those things, the better I feel about the rest of my day. So I get to also get things done. And one of my largest things is my house. So I work from home, I'm always home. It has to be clean here. I cannot have clutter everywhere. I can't have dirty dishes in the sink. I'm one of those people. And it's so funny because my mother-in-law came over and has been coming over a few times, obviously. And she's like, oh, like you guys are always like, it's always clean. And I'm like, I can't live like that. And she's like, don't worry about it. Like, you don't have to clean when I come over. I'm like, no, I'm not actually, not to be rude. I'm cleaning for me more so than anyone else. So
Yeah.
routines, cleaning, keeping my space clear, and just knowing that everything isn't always going to get done at one time anymore. There's times where I've cleaned the whole downstairs and I'm like, oh, this looks perfect. This is amazing. And then he wakes up from a nap and I'm like, okay, well, I can't get to the upstairs until tomorrow or until my husband gets home or until whenever. Realizing that you can keep up with those routines without them being back to back to back. Okay, maybe I clean one bathroom out of the three. Maybe I got the dishes done, but not all the laundry. Okay, what wants to happen? Maybe I cleaned all of the laundry and I folded it and it's literally in a basket right now as we speak, but I need to put it away.
Man, I
Just,
feel that.
yeah, just realizing that you're not going to get those things done back to back to back, but sticking with those same routines of like, especially laundry. I do laundry every single day no matter what it is.
Same.
It could be a small load, it could be a large load, whatever's in there, I'm doing it because otherwise it piles up way too quick. It snowballs like
Yes.
wow. So,
Especially with a baby.
yes. So because of that, I always have that going. And then it's like, okay, as long as it made it into a basket folded, I feel good about that. And that's fine. And that's what we got to do today. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
How do you handle the tension between that like ambition to clean and like your professional ambition and then recovery and like mom and spending time with your baby?
Man,
That's a lot of tension.
yes, that's a good one. I'm just getting to that because again, 3 months. So I gave myself because I own my own business, I gave myself this whole time. So now we're a little over 3 months. He hit 3 months, almost about actually tomorrow will be 20 days, so 20 days ago. So about 3.5 months, almost 4. Most people only get the exact 12 weeks, right? So for me right now, it's just listening to my body. Like if I have to move something or if I have to cancel something, I will do that if it has to do with him or right now because it's the holidays, if it has to do with family. Like I had to do that today actually. I knew I would have time for this, but I had family coming into town today and I'm hosting and we had some last minute things to do and I was like, "Oh, I have meetings." I had to move them. There was nothing else to do. But also it gives me more family time, which is really nice at this point, after being at home alone pretty much with a baby for like 3 months. On and off, if you will. So, um
Yeah.
I'm just now getting to that point. A lot of what I do is off hours now. I will say, like, my schedule has changed. I used to want to always take meetings in the morning. And now that he's here, I'll take a meeting late afternoon into evening. If it's a new client, especially if it's a new client, I will always want to take it more so towards the evening because then my husband will be home and I know he can take the baby. I try to keep it separate. There's other things that I'll join. You might have seen me at some entreprenista things, literally with him on my lap. But it's like I'm there to listen and hang out and pay attention. It's a very laid back atmosphere, so it's not a thing.
Yeah.
But for a client, you want to present differently. So I try to make that separation as well. And I don't feel bad about working. I know a lot of women are always like, oh, I feel so bad that I have to work and blah, blah, blah. I think for me, it's the way that I set it up, number one, because again, I work from home. So I'm still in the vicinity. And number two, I'm not taking so much time away from him because I work from home. I did work downtown Chicago for a few years in my career, and I really feel like that's one of the reasons why women are leaving in droves, especially after they have children. They're leaving corporate because they really feel like that time, even if you think about it, it just makes you really think about time. That time that it takes to wake up early in the morning to, have to take them to whatever daycare or leave them with a nanny, if you will, if have the money for that. And then you're at work all day and then you finally get off. You're not right down the street from home. You have to then get back on whatever transportation you used and get home. For most folks, that's a good 2 hours added to your day on top of an 8 hour to 10-hour day, depending on what's happening in your work life. I could do all of that at home. Like I could literally, if I had to do like a 10-hour day, and I was just at home, then that is what it is. Or a couple things that I've done is like a client needed something pretty quickly. It was like a quick turnaround. I just did it overnight. Like I couldn't touch it all day because I'm like, oh, I can get this to you like tomorrow. And then he just wasn't having it that day. Like I couldn't put him down. He wouldn't take a nap. We didn't have a good day at all. And I was just like, I guess I'm doing this at, whenever he goes to bed, like 11:30 p.m. So, and it is what it is. Like it makes you think about time. Like how relevant is it that I did my project for you at 9 a.m. versus 9 p.m.? How relevant is that really?
It
So
does.
it makes time like super relevant. So like you're just like, whatever. I don't really care what time it is anymore. So it all comes down to timing for me.
Oh, yeah, that's honestly like that is my life. I work from home and I like very specifically designed it that way because I wanted to be home with my baby, and then a year and a half ago I decided to build a business on top of working my full-time day job, and like you just figure it out. You People ask me all the time like how do you do everything, and like the real answer is my husband. He takes care of our crazy, unruly toddler like so much so that I have the freedom to spend hours in my office, like working on different stuff, but also like I go and do bedtime and then I come back and work, or I wake up at 5 a.m. and like get stuff done then. Like, I think that is like a mom superpower. You just figure it out and somehow you keep doing it. And it's pretty wild. If you would have told me like 2 years ago that this is where I would be and what I would be doing, I would have been like, no way, I can't do that.
No.
That's crazy talk.
No. And sleep, don't even get me started on how the sleep is going. But he does sleep pretty well at night. But I will say again, time is whatever to me because there's times where I wake up to pump at like 5 a.m. and I'm like, ooh, I have, a good idea for a LinkedIn post, or like this is a good idea for like a TikTok something or whatever. Like I'm constantly thinking now. I just start to either get things done by doing it or by coming up with ideas of what I want to do. And then I'm like, okay, we'll do this later.
I feel that my brain never turns off.
No,
I
like,
just have like
yeah.
notepad and scribble stuff down all the time.
Absolutely. And it's like, it would be best. Like, you know how people are always like, what do you want for your birthday? Or what do you want for Mother's Day or whatever? Like, people are starting to ask. And I'm like, it would be really cool to just go to sleep and not wake up on someone else's time for one day. One time that would be so wonderful because we breastfeed in the morning. That's our thing. That's part of our routine now. And so because of that, I have to wake up even with my husband home on the weekends. I breastfeed and then I hand him over usually for the majority of the day, but that's still my time with him. And then I'm like, okay, go with dad. So like little things like that, where you're like, oh, it'd be nice to just sleep without, as soon as you hear a little noise, you're like, what's that? So
Yes.
it would be
Yes.
nice to do
I
that.
will say, like, I feel like that gets, or for us at least, like, it got so much easier after the first year. We bed shared for the whole first year. And so I would nurse all throughout the night, just like laying in bed. And I mean, I feel like I never like fully got sleep, and my arm was just permanently stuck out like this. And for a whole year, we did that. And then the last couple months of that year, like it turns out she was very ready to like move to her own sleep space, but we just didn't know how to do the transition. And we ended up working with a sleep consultant, and it was like the greatest money we have ever spent.
Amazing.
It was at the time, I was like, I don't know. But again, type A, structured learning. I was like, if I can, this is like a board certified sleep consultant with like all 5-star reviews. And we did an intake call with her, and I was like, oh my gosh, she's incredible. If anybody's listening and needs one, her name is Sierra with Sweet Sleep Consulting. Absolutely incredible. So we worked with her for a month and transitioned my daughter to her own room, her own crib. And by like the fourth night, she was sleeping through the night, like entirely. Would go to sleep at 7 and wake up at like 6:30 or 7 in the
That's
morning.
beautiful.
Absolute magic. And it was not a cry it out. Like that was my mom heart just couldn't do it. Like
No.
I couldn't do the cry it out. I don't believe in it. And so that's what I was like very sensitive to, and like really pushed back on sleep training for a while and thought that we would bed share for much longer. But once I saw how well she was sleeping in her own space, I was like, oh, wow. Okay. She really needed like the room to flop around. And she's all over that crib throughout the night. It's wild. And like sometimes she'll wake up and grab her stuffies and like put herself back to sleep. And
It's
it's
also
adorable. But now I get the full sleep, and she sleeps in until now. With winter and how dark it is, she sleeps till almost 8 in the morning. We have to like wake her up and say like, okay, it's time to get up for the
yeah,
day.
absolutely. She's feeling those winter blues like the rest of us. It's totally normal.
Yes.
Oof,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where you are in the country, but it is 4:30 here and it's pitch black dark outside.
6:30, pitch black. I'm in Chicago.
Yeah,
It
it's
is.
it's so brutal. Every year I think that I'm gonna be okay with winter, and every year I'm like somehow surprised.
And winter just
But
started what, 3 days, 2 days ago? Like actual
I
winter
know.
solstice was like December, I
Yeah.
think the 21st or the 20th. Like,
Yeah, the 21st, yeah. But now the days start getting longer. And so
yes,
that's I always tell myself like you just have to get to like right before Christmas,
we'll be fine.
then the days start getting longer. We're already on the upswing. It's getting easier. But so I love to end these with kind of like some rapid fire questions. So what do you want moms to hear about like the good, the bad, and the ugly of postpartum? If there's any moms out there who are like preparing for the postpartum season.
Absolutely. How graphic can I get? I'm gonna be honest. You tell me, how graphic can I
Be totally honest.
get? Okay, I'm
I
like, how
love it.
graphic can we be here? I don't know. Okay. So my biggest thing was the postpartum bleeding journey with me because it did happen for a while.
Yeah.
It's uncomfortable. No one talks about it. And I would definitely say the mom cozy, they look like white diapers and they're mom cozy. I stand by mom
Mhm.
cozy everything, by the way. So just buy it. Amazon from them directly, whatever you want to do. But they had the pad inserts for extra. They had the cooling. They had the gel, or they had the the cooling, and then they had the sprays and everything. I would buy all of that, like buy everything, because it made me so much more comfortable with the fact that all of this had just happened to my body, and now I had to clean myself, make sure that I was healing, make sure that nothing crazy was coming out at the same time, but then also just I was able to put on, a pair of pants and say like, okay, I'm fine, instead of being like checking every 2 seconds. I ran out for a second and I tried to use like regular period pads. Don't do that. Don't do
Nope.
that. Everyone, do not, no. Do not reach for your period project products for this postpartum situation because it's going to do nothing
Nope.
for you. Use those
Yeah.
pads. They're wonderful. They're not as bulky as the ones they give you in the hospital, because in the hospital, I mean, that's like seriously catching what's happening there. So by the
Yeah.
time you get home, it should be slowed down a bit. Mind you, by the way, I'm talking to anyone who does a vaginal delivery. Of course, that's what I had. So I know nothing about a C-section, but I would definitely say, yeah, those postpartum products. I really want to come out with just like a list of things that women should have for themselves just to be ready and just to do. And then also for my Black women, get your hair done in a style that you don't have to touch your hair every day. Swear, it's the
Yeah.
best thing I've ever done. I did a protective style, didn't have to do much of anything, and I've just been kind of hanging out even to this day.
wow.
Yes. So part of my journey is the fact that as a woman of color, or black woman, however anyone would like to take that, I have natural hair now because you cannot put chemicals in your hair when you get pregnant, right? So you can't dye
Yeah.
it, you can't straighten, you can't do any of that. I used to get keratin treatments. I had to stop getting them. So because I stopped getting them, my hair is now all natural. That's a lot of work plus a baby. So I talked to my cousin who's a hairdresser, and she was like, you should definitely, we should just do a protective style on you. So that's what I've been doing for the past 4 months, actually, not just three. And it was the best thing I ever did for myself because I don't have to worry about, like, that's just one thing, one less thing, right? So those are my top two, like for sure. Make sure you have the right products for all of what's about to happen. And I would definitely say anyone who has like naturally curly, coily textures, just do something that you don't have to mess with every single day because it really takes the weight off for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I washed my hair for, like, weeks after the baby was born, and I had it in a for the entire first year, I wore my hair in a ponytail, like,
Mhm.
literally every like, a bun ponytail because I was so paranoid.
Yeah.
I have very long hair. I was
Mhm.
paranoid about it, like, getting wrapped around my daughter's
Oh
fingers,
yeah.
and the pediatrician was like, "Sometimes they can get hair wrapped around their fingers or their toes, and
Yep.
it can cut off circulation."
I
So
heard
that,
about
like,
that.
traumatized me.
Yep, I heard about that actually. I randomly heard about that too. And again, curly texture, so it's even more like possible.
So wild, the
Yep.
things that can, like, go wrong, and I had a C-section, can say you still need to prepare, you still need all the
Well,
products.
there you
Do
go.
not reach for the period products, like,
Yep.
that's one thing that I have several friends who are, like, pregnant now, having first babies, all that, I always tell them, like, "Buy these things for
Yes.
yourself," because they're, like, not things that you think about putting on your registry or, like, putting in your baby bag, but they're the practical things, and yes, the hospital will give you some.
Mm,
Those are horrible.
they
Like,
are.
the hospital gives you, like, what is, like, the equivalent of, like, a 3 by 3 square that they fold up and try to, like, shove in your pants.
Yes, that's exactly what it felt like. And then when I got home and I used mine, I was like, "Oh, these are like comfortable. Like they're cloth and they do everything you need them to do. And also you just have to use your peri bottle and like, spray and just you have to keep up with things." But it was totally worth it to just have my products ready when I got home. And I really like that because I'm one of those people where like my big thing with my husband is like I just need to take a shower. Like do not interrupt my shower. And because of that, like I'm very big on products and I just like to be comfy and clean and feel good. Like that's always been my thing. I don't care how long the day is, I need a good shower.
I think that's so important, and I feel like it's one thing, like, you're right, it's just not talked about, and, like, it's people don't prepare for it. They treat it like an afterthought, and it really like, taking care of mom and, like, personal hygiene and all of that in those early days is so important, and, like, I remember my best friend asked me one time, she was like, "Are you getting to shower, like, more than once a week?" And I was like, "Nope, I'm really not." Like, in those early, like, weeks, I was like, "No, I'm just surviving, and it's, like, once a week,
Yeah,
and
see?
that's it." And when I finally got to the point of, like, okay, I can actually, like, shower more, like, we reached this turning point where my daughter would, like, be with other people and because she was a total Velcro baby and
Uh,
just wanted to be
on me.
on me all the time, would, like, lose it and with cluster feeding, and it was very challenging in,
Mhm.
like, the first month, and then finally I got to the point where I could, like, actually start taking care of myself again, and I was like, "Oh, I feel like a human again."
See? And that's the last thing I would say too. When people offer you help, take it. Please
Yes.
take it. My mom is a travel nurse. She said, I will come to you like every other week if that's what you want. And we do have the room for her. So we were like, yes, please. And it's been a blessing. She's taught us a lot. She's helped out a lot. Like my number one fear was like giving him a bath. Like I was so nervous about that because they get slippery and they're so little. And I was just like, what do I do? Like his first bath, he's like this big, right? So I'm like, what am I doing? And, it was good to have my mom there to just help and like walk me through it and be there and
Yeah.
hold him while I shower. So I got to shower, that was a non-negotiable for me. I'm like, I'm showering every day. I have to shower every day. That's what we're doing. So
Yeah.
yeah, we made it
I
happen.
think that's so important too, like having those non-negotiables. I think a lot of times moms don't like have those conversations with their partners beforehand to
Yes.
prepare and like they don't make those game plans. And like, I'm a big planner. And so I made a bunch of like frozen meals, and I talked to my husband and was like, okay, here's some like pre approved recipes that like you can make in the Instapot that are easy and like are going to be easy on my stomach. Because left to his own devices, he'd be like, here's some like stir fry from Trader Joe's.
Yep.
Like,
That's what we're doing.
like that, yeah, like that's good. It has a time and a place, but it not in postpartum. And
Exactly.
I think just like having those conversations and laying out like, here are the things that are important to me, here are the things that I want help with and the things that I don't want help with. And I, like, as a very independent person, had such a hard time accepting help. And I think becoming a mother was like so humbling because you cannot do it on your own. And we don't have a village here. We don't have family here. Our both of our families live thousands of miles away. But every time my husband's mom comes up here, we take advantage and she watches our daughter, and we like go out, even if it's just for a couple hours, to like go get stuff done, have a glass of wine, like just be together. And because she's kind of the only person we trust to watch our daughter.
Yep.
And
I
so
get that.
we joked last time she was here. I was like, can we just like fly her up like once a month?
I told my mom, I'm like, Mom, listen. Like, I'm going this business. It's in its second year. I'm going so hard this year. Like, we're gonna make it happen. Just move in. Just move in. Like, I will buy a house for us. Relax. Like, we will get
Yeah.
there. So, yeah.
Honestly, like that's so smart. If
Hmm.
we could convince my husband's mom to leave sunny San Diego for snowy North Idaho, then we
That'd be
would. But
so
that's a
great.
pretty hard sell.
Yeah, that's a hard sell. Well, I mean, her grandchild's there, but that's still kind of a hard sell. Even
Yeah,
with the
and
grand,
she has
throw in the grandkid.
six six more grandkids down there. So
Ah, you can't even say like, "Oh,
one.
I'm your." Oh no, yeah. Well, you can try.
Yeah.
You can only try.
So a good last question. If you could reframe postpartum in one sentence, what would it be?
My gosh, can we talk about the fact that postpartum sounds like the most horrible thing ever? By the way, just the word in of itself,
I know.
it's horrible. In one sentence, postpartum. The word time keeps popping in my head. Just
Yeah.
I would just say a humbling time to learn who you are and what kind of parents slash people you're going to be to this new addition in your life. And I say parents slash people because I know everybody's not doing it the traditional way, everybody's not married and everything. Just to expand on that, it made my husband and I be really honest with each other. Like when this happens, you don't have time for the I'm fines or the let's talk about it
Yeah.
later or the you don't have time for that. So, like, example, I had an issue with him saying things to me because he works in the beer industry. So it's actually kind of fun, like, honestly. He goes to bars all day and, they're guys and they do their thing or whatever, right? So, point being, I started to have this part where I was like, kind of resenting him a bit because I felt like he was having fun at his job. And I'm like, I want to have fun. I don't get to just have fun all day. Not that he's having fun all day, it's still his job, you know?
Yeah.
So it made us readjust how we communicate.
I definitely used to be the type of person who would do the I'm fine, it's fine. And my husband and I actually like make a joke out of that now where we always like if I say like, oh, it's fine, he's like, I'm fine, it's fine, or like
Mhm.
it's really fine.
Exactly. Which one is it? What are we doing here?
Yeah, you're right. Like you have to be honest. And I think for me, postpartum was like becoming this whole new person. And I'm 2 years into it. And I feel like I'm finally kind of like finding my way slightly back to who I was
Some say
before.
that's how long it can take is like 2 years. So for the people who
Yeah.
go back to back, would love to know more about that because my husband would love to do it, but I'm like, I feel like I'm not fully back yet to myself, and you want me to produce another human. Yeah.
It's a lot. My best friend had her first 3 months before I had my daughter, and now her second is I want to say like 5 months old. And so her girls are just like a couple years apart, and I'm like, I don't know how you do it. I don't When she got pregnant, I remember she missed my daughter's first birthday party because she was just horribly, horribly morning sick, and pregnancy is not kind to her. And so she was like in the throes of it. And I remember thinking, like, oh my gosh, I am a year postpartum. I could not imagine like going back into that again. It's
Yeah.
so hard. But also, like, I do feel bad. I feel like my daughter would love a sibling, but I don't know.
So we're on the fence again. We're on the
Yeah.
fence.
I'm building a business. I'm getting older. Like we have a spot in New York Fashion Week in September, and I'm like, I do not want to be pregnant for that.
That's so
So
fun.
yeah, the whole reason that I ended up on this journey, like talking to moms and talking about postpartum, was because I started building Hone, my apparel brand, which makes nursing dresses that are actually like work appropriate and don't look like nursing dresses and made from natural fibers. And so part of that is I just did a ton of research, and I was talking to like 5 or 6 moms a week at varying levels, like founder moms, like working corporate jobs, just all different types. And this everything just kept coming up. Like there were so many similarities, but also like so many gaps in knowledge where like people are just left to figure it out for themselves. And like some people are fortunate and they have the resources, they have the family that can teach them, but like it's not like it used to be where we had the moms and the aunts and the sisters and everybody all came
Mhm.
together around you and like taught you how to do everything. We're all so spread out now that we just don't have that anymore. And so that's when I was like, okay, I think I want to start a podcast and start like recording these conversations and just talking to moms and sharing the knowledge, because I would also find that I would have these conversations and I would be like, "Oh, I need to introduce you to like these 3 other moms that I talked to earlier this week." And it just became this big like network effect. And so that's how I ended up on this route. And I feel like motherhood and postpartum just completely changed the trajectory of my life in like the best way possible. But boy, was I not expecting it.
Yes, you don't it's not talked about enough exactly what happens to you when you have a baby, and especially when you're a working parent. I think a lot of people, a lot of books, I've read books and everything, of course, just trying to figure things out, skip that part. And I did look to my mom for information too, but she's one of those people where she's like, we just did it. We just figured it out. But her just figuring it out was also because she was a single mom. And so to her, she's like, well, I just figured it out. But it's like, mom, I'm not a single mom, but I'm just figuring it out too. Like, I still have to figure it out. So yeah, it's different. It's different for everyone in small nuance ways, but I would say a lot of us are in the same boat that we just don't talk about. And I think it's important to realize the fact that you don't know everything and you don't know how things are going to go. But as long as my baby is happy and fed and warm, I don't care.
You are
And healthy.
doing it
I'm
right.
good. Everything's fine. And at
Yeah.
first, I was so worried about every little thing that it's just like, it's fine. Like right now, right? For example, I live in an apartment. I don't live in a house yet, but it's a 3 bedroom, 2.5 bathroom apartment. It's not like it's
Yeah.
horrible. It's just not what I would have wanted with my first baby, but he's tiny and he has no idea where he lives. So to me, like
Exactly.
when I was pregnant, I was like worried. I'm like, I don't have the house yet. I don't have the beautiful, like he has a nursery, but it's not, the beautiful big one that I wanted. And like all the, all the things that you think about. And it's just like, does that really matter at the end of the day? Does he care? Am
Not
I
at all.
still, thank you. Like, is he still getting good sleep? Is he healthy? Is he happy? Is he laughing with me? Then fine. We're fine. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. You're so right. Your like a whole perception of what matters and your
Yes.
priorities just totally
Yeah.
change.
And yeah, I still want the house with the backyard and everything. But I also know that in due time that will happen. I literally had him, or no, I literally started a business and got pregnant around the same time as well. So for me, I was so tired all the time that it slowed things down for me. So instead of really pushing my business out there in the way that I would have wanted to, I kind of played it small last year. I shouldn't say I played it small last year because of the fact that I was kind of feeling a little, I don't know. It was the weirdest thing. As soon as I started to show, I started to just want to be recluse from everyone and everything. And
Yeah.
I let that happen out of comfort, out of wanting
Mhm.
to feel that comfort. So
Yeah.
now this year I'm like hitting the ground, like this new year, into this new year, I'm like hitting the ground running. And I'm like, no, we're doing this. We're doing this. So, but it also changed the fact that I'm like, last year I was like, everything has to be perfect that I put out there. Everything has to be this, everything. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. That's
Yeah.
over. We're done with that. We're just going to do it
Just
and we're
show
just
up.
going to keep it. We're just going to show up. And that's it.
Yeah.
That's all we can do. So
Yeah.
you're absolutely
Consistency.
right. Hmm.
Like you just keep showing up, and like it's you get better. If you just show up every single day and like do the same things every single day, like you will get better. And
Absolutely.
that is a big lesson in motherhood. And like you don't like people would tell me things like that before I became a mom, and I didn't really understand. I just couldn't like conceptualize it. And then after becoming a mom, now I'm like, oh, okay, I get it now.
Hmm. Absolutely.
It's so wild. Well, this has been such an amazing conversation, Desiree. I'm so happy to have you on here. Before we end, I do want to hear a little bit about your business, though. What are you building? Tell me.
I'm a solo and I own my own law firm and it is named after me. So it's Desireé ESQ LLC. And the
Love
reason
that.
I did that is because my husband did not build my business and I just changed my last name. So I feel like most men have their law firms, have their last name. As a woman,
Mhm.
I felt like that didn't make sense for me. So it's my first name. That might change in the future. I'm already thinking about it. We'll see. I'm one of those people where I'm like, if I don't like it, I'll just change it later. It's fine.
Yes.
But I do work with small businesses and entrepreneurs on everything transactional. So everything from starting a business to contracts, to hiring employees, firing employees, and then also with individuals with employment issues. Well, actually, it could be an employment good. It could be a good employment thing. Maybe they got a new job and they want me to look over that contract, or they are leaving and they want me to look over their severance contract. So it's usually the two things that I deal with on the employment side. Again, I don't do litigation, so that's why I'm kind of limited on that side. But when it comes to working with these businesses, I was in venture capital at the time, and or a few years ago, I should say. And at that time, I was selling recruitment services. I've had a few lives. I was selling recruitment services into venture capital and into the businesses that venture capital backs, which are typically going to be very small businesses at first. And because of that, those folks don't have that kind of capital to pay for a lawyer. But after being there, every small business needs an accountant, a banker, and a lawyer, to be honest. And a lot
Yeah.
of them were just not able to pay for that. I wanted to be the person that they could call when they had an issue instead of saying, "Oh, I have to call my lawyer," and being sad about it because it's going to cost them a ton of money. So I started to really think through what that looked like for me, and I decided that because of the folks I wanted to work with, I would do productized pricing. So my pricing is not hourly, it is by the project because
Nice.
you deserve to know exactly how much things are going to cost. And you also deserve to pay for things as you go, as you need it. So I can even do subscription models. I haven't done one yet, but I would love to do subscription models for folks who are like rapidly building because that way we can continue to work together as they grow. That's really where I want to live. But for now, a lot of folks have the one off things that they need from me. It might be a few different contracts that they need, and I will charge them a set amount for those few different contracts. Because charging hourly right now as a lawyer, I could charge you about anywhere from 300 to maybe 450 an hour.
Hmm.
And that's steep for folks who are just starting out. And
Yes.
right, when you're just starting a business, I mean, it's all these things come at you and you're just like, "Oh my gosh, I have to pay for this, I have to pay for that, I have to figure out a way to," and then on top of my life and my bills and my home, so it's like that's a lot. Everyone doesn't have a husband, everyone doesn't have a partner to help them. And I really feel like when it comes to in court representation, we make sure everyone has that. But when it comes to building businesses, there's no one out there making sure that everyone has proper representation when building a business. And I think that's unfair. So that's where I come in.
That is so cool. As a small business founder, I love that. I've been on the receiving end of a lot of illegal bills. For my day job, I work at a health tech startup, and so we use a law firm to review all of our contracts
Hmm.
and for employment law stuff. And yeah, those bills are always very painful. So I absolutely love what you're building. I think
Yeah.
that is so cool, and I hope that there are more lawyers that take this path,
Yes.
because I think what you said about like not dreading calling your lawyer, that's so important in building that relationship and having that kind of the trust, and you get to have the context for their business and you get to grow with them like throughout their career. That's really cool to have somebody like that in your corner who can like be a sounding board, but also have the legal knowledge
Absolutely.
and like everything. So
Yep.
that's awesome. Well, this has been so amazing, Desiree. Thank you so much. And good luck with the rest of postpartum. We will have to schedule another one of these and check in like a year from now. And we can look back on this and see if there's anything that's changed for you.
Absolutely. Yeah, I appreciate that. Good luck with everything with Fashion Week. That sounds so awesome. I'm so excited
Thank
for
you.
you. That's so great. Breaking into any kind of clothing industry is tough. So you're killing it already.
Thank you so much. And I hope you have a great rest of the evening.
Thanks, you too.
Thanks.
All right,
Bye.
bye.